Okay, record's video on Saturday, the 5th of October 2024, just gone 9:42 AM Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So it's the weekend, time for another weekend futures market recap. I'll go through 15 of the largest futures markets and I'll show you what I'm seeing on my charts. Fascinating week this week, it all flipped around. We had trends in place at the beginning of the week and they all reversed. There's not a lot of good news around except possibly, I think equities looking good, crude's looking good, and Bitcoin actually looking good, but the others all looking very weak indeed. We'll get to those charts in a minute, Emini charts first as usual. But before doing that, just a little local interest item. I had a comment on YouTube the other day saying, why don't you post some of your photographs from your travels? And I thought, why not? And I'm going to start with this week. This is the Citroën Ami. Because for whatever reason, this is the year of the Ami. We see these everywhere in Biarritz in France, where we are. When we're out and about, I'll see 5 or 6 of these, and I love them. They look fantastic. And this is the year when they've just absolutely taken off. It's an interesting phenomenon. So this is the Citroën Ami. They're pretty basic. It's an electric vehicle, range of about 75 kilometers. And this is what they look like inside. And there's also a rebadged version for the Fiat called the Fiat Topolino, and they're fantastic. They're actually made in Morocco. You buy them at Fnac, which is the French equivalent of Best Buy. And here's the kicker. They cost €6,000, which is about 6,000 US dollars after EV subsidies. And kids as young as 14 years old can drive these. Obviously not on the freeways, but you do not need a driver's license for these, and you just have to be 14 years old. So we see loads of kids like bombing around in these things. They go pretty fast. So there we go. It's the year of the Ami. They've been around for 3 years, but finally this year they've really started to take off. So there we go. If you come to France, look out for the Citroën Ami. Okay, let's talk Emini charts. Daily chart of the Emini first. We're back up 5,800 and we're putting in some interesting cyclical patterns. Not over. The background's in red on the left-hand chart. This is what's most important. Until we see blue professional up bars, this uptrend will not be over. There's nothing on the momentum patterns. That's neutral-ish, a little bit of negative 1.2, but we recovered midweek. So this momentum, I think, will probably flip around by the end of next week. But it was a midweek reversal. Yes, we put in some interesting patterns here. So this is pullback to end of trends rippling through the time frames. So we've got a left shoulder here marked by the lowest time frame. This week's activity, we put in pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame. And normally that would have me worried, saying it's like, we're topping out here. But there's nothing on the other side of the ledger, on the momentum side, on the professional arabic bar side, to say that we're going to have trouble here. So we're pushing back up. We got caught. We went through cyclical resistance. We were caught by the next highest time frame, which is an end of trend. But we're coming back up. And let's see if we come through, 58.28.5, which was the resistance number that we had from the other day. So 135-minute chart, exactly 3 135-minute bars in a day session of the E-mini. Again, background's in red, no amateur bars, no blue professional bars. Momentum's coming back up, negative 51,000 at the moment, coming back up to 0. Here's our pullback to end of trends, resistance on the high, intermediate. I think we're going to put in a pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame there. It's interesting. With that 45-minute chart, we're in a little bit of a dark zone at the moment just because we breached this support on the better pro trend here, but we're coming back up to that. You can see we have blue professional bars coming at that level on that low, and that's caught at the moment. Here's the supports coming, a little pullback to end of trend on the way down, syncing up with cyclical support. It's pullback in an uptrend happening here, so a lot of confluence of cycles going on here, but we bounced out of that and it looks like we're going to head back up to 58.21. And again, nice little bullish divergence pattern here in better momentum, less selling happening at the end of the week. And the 15-minute chart, here we've got the beginnings and the ends of the week marked by these vertical solid yellow lines, and this is this week's activity. We started off weak, blue professional bars come in here, big pro bars, which is interesting. We test with amateur bars right down here, and then we've taken off to the upside, and you can see the background is in red, so we've broken into a confirmed uptrend. And in terms of cyclical patterns, it's all kind of go here. You can see all these patterns lining up. There's a big things happen at triples. The first one goes off here. It's a little pullback to end of trend, syncing up cyclical support, which is pullback in a highest time frame here, bang, bang, bang. It's messy on the way down, but better sine wave catches these important turning points and says, yep, that cyclical support level there, 57.39s, super important. Big things happen at triples, and as soon as we bust into the next trending move, there we've got a sign of strength at the end of the week on the 15-minute chart. So all of that is good, and the 13,500 tip bar chart, we can get a sense of the cycles here down at the tip bar level, which is nice. So we had all of these patterns. We were just rolling over and rolling over the last couple of weeks here. We were just finding it difficult to get through here. And then all of a sudden the big things happen at triples. Signal comes in here, pull back to end of trend, cyclical patterns, bang, bang, bang. All of these signs of strength going on, bang, bang, at these lows, and then finally we've broken above a big things happen at triples. So we either get big bounces or big breaks. Big things happen at triples. Here's the first on the resistance side, highest time frame, super close together, or pretty close together, which is good. I like that. And as soon as we bust through that, if that trending move has everything else behind it, like momentum, professional activity, and so on, that will keep going, and that'll be a nice trending move to the upside. So let us see, what can we see here on Better Pro-Am for this week's activity. So there's the professional profit taking. We had a weakness at the up here, big pro bars. That's the bars are blue and the background's in blue. That means super high average trade size. So they're taking profits up here. That's super important. We break into a downtrend. The background's in grey throughout all of this activity, so we knew it was weak, and there was an opportunity to get short into this move. We come with amateur down bars down here, have little bounces off theirs. We get a flush pattern down here, and then we had the employment numbers kind of came out, and then the market went a bit nutso with the pre-open activity here. Sold off, as you would, because the professionals need the full liquidity of the day to get all of their positions set. So in that little retrace there, that's where they got set. Here's the big pro bars at the end of the day before, almost signaling that they knew something was going on. So they're buying down here. We come back to test into that zone where those blue professional bars, and then we bounce from there. So blue professional bars at the end of the week, hopefully we'll continue through the 5800 level there. That's maybe just squaring off at the end of the week. So I tend to discount that a little bit unless there was a lot of activity at the end of the week. But let's see, I think we're going to keep on breaking up on the tip bar chart. You can see here this is going to be important, breaking through all these resistance levels there. So there we go. Equities I'm pretty happy with. I think they're going to continue breaking up, but a lot of these other charts have flipped around this week. So let me show you those. We'll start as usual with the Forex charts, with the Euro chart. This is my normal setup where we've got the two time frames side by side, the 500 tip bar chart here on the right hand side, and the higher time frame, which is 3 times that, the 1500 tip bar chart here and here. And we have Better Pro-Am, Better Momentum here, the volume side of the equation on one panel, and beneath that Better Sine Wave, which is the price side of the equation. And then same thing on this left hand panel, and it just allows us to see the big picture here and then zeroing in on what's going on. But this is the chart that's most important. This is the one you got to trade in sync with all the time. Last week you can see all the backgrounds in grey. We had some dark patterns throughout that, but finally we got confirmation, and this thing just took off to the downside. Big move. Not a classic in terms of topping out here. Yes, we had blue professional bars up at the highs. We had Rambo patterns previously, but we didn't have exhaustion buy up here. Yes, we had it earlier, a week and a half ago, but it wasn't a nice pattern up here with flush happening here and then rolling over. That was getting the move going, and then as soon as it fell out of bed here, out of this congestion zone, bang, took off to the downside. So Euro not looking good. British pound, same thing. No exhaustion patterns. Blue professional bars, yep, one up here. Then we had a confluence at the highs. So at 34, big pro bars come in here, super high average trade size, perfectly timed there. Stair step as the pro trend ratchets down here, and their big move to the downside on British pound. Aussie dollar better in terms of signals up here. So here we go. This is more of a classic. You can see we're in an uptrend because the background's in red, and then we top out with exhaustion by bearish divergence, which is good. Big pro bars right into there. Takes a while to roll over. Then we finally start breaking down. Exhaustion sell, getting the move going. Background turns grey. We're in a downtrend. Bang, we continue down, and we're down at 68s on Aussie dollars. That's a more comprehensive turn where we've got all three indicators signaling the turn at that point. Japanese yen now. Last weekend's video was pretty bullish on the Japanese yen because we'd seen these big pro bars down here and said it was good setup. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, flush, big pro bars step in, the background's in red, break into an uptrend, and here we go. The move's being led by the amateurs. Right here at the highs, a whole family of Rambo patterns. Market weakens from there, comes back up to test, and there the big pro bars, they step in at that point, and the market turns into a downtrend, and we reverse and go the other way. Huge move in Japanese yen, and yeah, just no follow through there as professionals came in. Again, wasn't an exhaustion buy, bearish divergence and so on, just that professional activity forced the market down. 10 years again, I was bullish on the 10 years at the end of last weekend because we'd broken into an uptrend. The background's in red here. We had exhaustion, sell and bullish divergence. Not a whole bunch of blue professional bars here, but then beginning of the week, the big pro bars stepped in. Exhaustion, sell, big pro bars come in here, run it to an exhaustion buy. No obvious profit taking by the professionals at the highs here. We break through those lows, and then a stair-step trade with blue professional bars come in here on the retrace, and then bang, just fall into a downtrend. So all of these things, yes, we could have reached extremes down here at the lows, but we've got to build a base with all of these patterns turn around. There's no blue professional bars come in, there's no exhaustion sells come in down here, so we're still in downtrends. We could have retraces, but the downtrends aren't over until we see those things. That's the 10 years. Gold. Now, gold had a nice run. That was the uptrend that we had to midweek last week, and then we started to weaken from here. But on the retrace here, big pro bars come in at 26.50 here, so that's interesting. Broken back into a little bit of an uptrend here. We're in the dark at the moment because the background's black and not red, but let's see if we get a continuation of gold with next week's activity. Silver not so happy on silver. We've broken into a bit of a downtrend on silver. Here's exhaustion buy, blue professional bars, big pro bars come in here, and the market's starting to weaken from there. So there's a big move happening in silver on Fridays. We tested back up into 33s in a bit. Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin swinging between these kind of 66,000 and 60,000 kind of level. The end of last week's flush, big pro bars taking profits. We break into a downtrend. Background switches around to grey. But on the flip side here, we have got big pro bars coming in here at 60, holding, and amateur down bars into this move. And we've got some strength happening with the backgrounds in red there. So let's see if Bitcoin is going to have a little bit of a run this week. You can see here sign of strength after these big things happen at triple signals, breaking out there on Bitcoin. So that could be good. Crude did rally. So last week I was keen on crude, and this is why. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, big pro bars at the end of the week, and we started the rally. Nasty little retrace down here into 66s, but we bounced off there, and we had two little perfect entry points here at 70. No blue professional bars taking profits here. The professionals step in on the retrace. We get a stair-step trade. No blue professional bars taking profits here. Another stair-step trade comes in. Blue professional bars coming on the retrace. Bang, and we're on the way up. Some professionals up here at 74, but none at 75.5 taking profits. We could have a little bit of weakness because we've got an exhaustion sell at the moment, but we're in an uptrend on crude there, which is looking good. Natural gas in a downtrend. Rambo patterns here. We've broken into a downtrend. It was a nice bottom pattern at the end of last week. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence. Professional bars step in, break into an uptrend, but seemingly that's over for the time being. And copper not looking good on the long-term chart. Copper not looking good at all. We've come into 480s, weakened this week. Can't remember what I said last week about copper, but we had an explosive move at the end of last week and then broken into a downtrend. The background's in grey, and we're just bouncing from here. Stair-step trade, blue professional bars coming in here on the retrace. So let's see if that downtrend in copper continues. And then the ags, corn slipped around. Nice little uptrend, flipped around into a downtrend, rolling over here, flush. Rambo patterns at the high, 432, and now we're seemingly heading down on corn. Soybeans, similarly, good week last week. This week rolled over, backgrounds in grey. Not a classic topping out, but Rambo patterns up here. We've weakened from there, possibly starting to hold. Exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, some blue professional bars. But we need to see the background flip around there. Lastly, wheat. Wheat again didn't top out with blue professional bars at the highs, but we've had some weakness, and then a whole bunch of blue professional bars at the end of the week stepped in. Big pro bars too, so that 590 level super important. We just need to break back above this 597 600 level, and that would continue into an uptrend. Let's see what better sine wave has to say. Yeah, turned around here, and yet we need to see some big things happen at triples activity. We need a support on the highest time frame to come in there on wheat for this thing to hold. So there we go. Rip around the charts. Yeah, only a couple of bright spots at the moment. Some of these markets we've got some pretty strong trending moves happen. So rather than joining in straight away, I'd wait for the retraces and the blue professional bars to see what to do next. Anyway, I hope your trading is going well, and looking forward to next week's trade.